One issue that often comes into play for folks with LHON is how to deal with Social Security and Social Security disability, SSDI. And we're fortunate to have someone coming in today to talk about Social Security and SSDI. And Diana Varela, thank you very much for being here today to help us learn more about living with Social Security issues with living with LHON. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I know that in your agenda says David Melton. I am not a man, as you can see. I have pants, but I'm not a man. And my name is not David Melton. David has sent his regards. He unfortunately became ill, and I'm going to do the presentation on his behalf. But before I start, I really would like to say thank you to the organizers of this conference for making us a part of this day. We would like to provide a lot of information. We have about 45 minutes. And what I would like to do is actually divide the presentation in two parts. The first part will talk about the beginnings, as how somebody can file about benefits with us, disability. Also, I will provide just basic information. And after that, I will provide information on what are the incentives that we have for people that are already receiving Social Security disability benefits and their ability to come back to work. And I will have some sections in the middle in which I would like to take some of your questions, okay? So to begin with, I'm going to provide you with basic information on the two programs that we have that pay benefits to people with a disability. We have two programs. They are a little bit different from one another because, first of all, it says they're Title II. It's what we use basically for disability program, the Social Security Disability Insurance. Social Security Disability Insurance. So that means actually that for people to be eligible to receive benefits on disability under this program, they have to, what we say, be insured. And that really translates to you working and paying into the Social Security system. How many of you have access to a My Social Security online account? Awesome, very good. And those of you that do not have access to a My Social Security online account, what is that? How many of you remember receiving a Social Security statement every year if you were 25 years and older? Okay, well, we don't mail the statement anymore. And for most of us here, we are too young for that because we are only mailing the statement to those who are 60 years and over. So if you are under 60 years old, we recommend that you create your online account, My Social Security online account, so you can have access to your earnings record to see how many credits, we call them credits, but it's really a measure of work activity, so we can determine whether we can pay you benefits or not under Title II, Social Security Disability Insurance. And for most people, depending on their age, at the age in which they became disabled, they have a different number of credits required, a different number of years required that you have contributed into the system to be eligible to this program. Also, under Title II, SSDI, the person not only had to be working and earning those credits, but we can pay benefits to family members. The amount of the benefits that we will pay will be determined depending on the earnings that people had over the years that they were working. And of course, you know, we have medical benefits under Medicare. So it's one of the differences in regards to Title 16. Because in Title 16, We provide benefits to people that are either 65 years or over 65. They have a disability, but it has nothing to do with you working, being insured, having those credits, paying taxes, Social Security taxes. But it is a program that is very, very strict in regards to income, resources, living arrangements. For most children, since this is not work-related program that we can pay benefits, this is a program that we can pay benefits to children with disability. But for most children, since the program is based in income and resources, we will take a look into income and resources of parents when the children are under the age of 18. So for most children, if you at least have one parent that makes average earnings, we will not be able to provide benefits to the children. It will be different when the child turns 18 years. Because at 18 years, even though you have a child that you are providing food and shelter, that's your child lives with you, we will still be able to pay benefits under SSI. Now, one important factor, when I work in the community, we are always invited to participate at what they call transition fairs within the school systems. And a lot of times during these transition fairs, we have a lot of children with different disabilities, and parents apply for their children under the age of 18. And they were denied because of income and resources, but now the child is 21 or 22, and parents did not apply again under SSI. Well, let me tell you that it is very important to make that decision, that Social Security makes that decision whether the person is or not disabled on the Social Security laws, because under Title II, I said that we provide benefits to family members. One important benefit that we provide is for children who are disabled and became disabled before the age of 22. So, once a worker applies either for disability, retirement, or even if a worker is deceased, one of the questions in the application is, are there any children? Any children under the age of 18, because we pay benefits to children under the age of 18 for as long as they are single. And if not, are there any children between ages 18 and 19, but they are still in high school in full-time attendance? And if not, the other option is, are there any children beyond 19 years old, but are adults and are disabled and became disabled before the age of 22? So that's why it's so important to get that determination in regards to Title 16, the SSI program. Because if a child becomes disabled, before the age of 22, then we already know we made that determination. So in regards to disability benefits, how is disability defined with the Social Security Administration? For adults, we are going to say that there is a medical condition, any type of medical condition that impacts the ability to work. And that this is a permanent condition that is going to last more than 12 months. Of course, in some different medical conditions, it might result in the death of the person. But that is the basic criteria. You have a medical condition, it's expected to last more than 12 months. And of course, if the person is working, you are working, but you are not making more than what we call substantial gainful activity. What is substantial gainful activity? It is actually a dollar amount, $1,220 for a person that is applying for disability benefits with any other condition. But for people that have problems with vision, actually substantial gainful activity is much higher. The amount is $2,040 a month. So, and that is for the year 2019, because these amounts change year after year. So basically, this is what translates into. You have a medical condition that stops you from working, or at least it stops you from making more than $2,040, then you can apply for disability benefits with us, with the administration. I'll talk a little bit about work incentives in just a minute, but in regards to the initial application, there are different ways for people to file for disability benefits with us. You can file online, which is the most convenient, easy, and very, very secure way to do it. And as I was hearing in the back the amazing things that technology is helping people with low vision do. Of course, you can do it online, but if not, the second best way to do it is give us a call. Our toll-free number, 1-800-772-1213, and schedule an appointment at the local office. I see that you are from different states, so welcome to Washington, D.C. area. I hope that you enjoy the visit here. But once you make an appointment, contact with us at the toll-free number, they will schedule the visit, the application appointment to your local office. It depends on the zip code where you live, so they will schedule that appointment there. Of course, there is one more option in regards to filing. You can just come into the local office. How many of you have visited a local office in your state? Can somebody share with me how busy was that office? You know what? I'm amazed because, I only work in the Washington, D.C. area. And in the Washington, D.C. area, we have 14 offices. And my colleague and I, David and I, and we have one more person, our senior and lead public affairs, we travel to the 14 offices. And it doesn't matter which office we travel, it's really, really busy. So if you have an office, you have visited a local office before, and you're telling me that it's not busy, I'm moving to your state. Okay, so I'm not joking when I tell people, it's your option. Going online is the best option to file for benefits. It's very convenient. And sometimes with disability, completing an application for disability is good because you have to complete, first of all, an application. The application is really your request that we pay you disability benefits. But you also have to complete a disability report, which captures all the medical data. So, and if by the chance you forgot, who else has medical records, then you can stop, save the application, and have a re-entry number and continue later. So that is why it's so convenient. But I always tell people, it's your choice. You can call us to get that appointment, or you can just come and visit. If you have a day off one day, just come spend some time with us. We'll love to have you. Okay, now I'm gonna stop quickly here to see if anybody has any questions on the initial process or any questions in regards to how to file, when to file, and of course, something in regards to the initial process is appeals rights. Most people tend to believe that you have to hire a lawyer to get benefits from us, and I can tell you that the answer is not really. For as long as you provide us all the medical data that we need, we're going to make the right decision on your case. So you don't have to hire a lawyer, but it's really an option, that some people consider. But if we deny your claim, please take a look at the reasons why we are denying your claim. If it is because your child is under 18 years old and we deny the claims because of excess income and resources. Unless income and resources change for your family, there will be another decision and it will probably be the same. So when we deny a claim, any decision that we make on any of the applications, we are going to send you a letter and give you appeal rights. If we deny a disability claim, there is another process that is called reconsideration. Somebody else will review all the medical data, and if they arrive to the same decision as the first person that made the initial decision, then there is another process, which is the hearing. You can request a hearing with a judge, and if at that level is also denied, then you can appeal to appeals council. And if once again it's denied, then you can do a district court, actually becomes a lawsuit. And every appeal step has 60 days. You have 60 days to appeal at any step. So please know that you have those appeal rights.
Do you happen to know why everybody keeps saying, oh, you have to be denied 3 times before you finally get approved?
Okay. I heard that the magic number is 3. The 3rd is the charm, right? And but let me tell you that once again, as I said before, in regards to the appeals process, please find out exactly the reason why we are denying your claim. In terms of the concept of disability with Social Security, is that for a person that is over 18 years old, we are going to say, will this person with this condition be able to work? And we are really talking about, if you're an adult, we're talking about, can the person continue doing the job that they were doing before becoming disabled? Can the person do a job that they were doing maybe perhaps 20 years ago? Or can the person do another job that they never done, they can get rehabilitation? For as long as you provide medical data that really supports your allegation that you are unable to work, then we should be able to approve the claim. When you are applying, let me tell you a little bit of the process. You actually apply for disability benefits with us, but we do not make the medical decisions because we don't have medical staff. We send the claim to a state agency. That state agency is the Disability Determination Services. Each state has a disability determination services, but they are ruled, and we have policies in place that are on a national level for all the states. It just happened to be that they have particular staff on their each state. Now, they are the ones reviewing the medical data. And in most cases, believe me, they will not contact you. They might not see you. They will go by what is written there in the medical data. So I always tell people when I do programs on disability, I say, please, please, please make sure that you provide that medical reviewer a clear picture, a video in color, if you can describe your child's condition, your condition. By no coincidence, once you're applying, the disability report has a whole page. If I was looking at the paper disability report, there is a whole page in the back with remarks. And sometimes, remember that I said there are different levels in the appeals process? First, reconsideration. Second is the administrative judge. Well, of course, the initial. So the administrative judge is your opportunity for you to actually sit down with the judge and talk about your medical condition. And that's what sometimes people say, well, after 2 or 3 years, my condition got worse. By the time that I got to the hearing at the judge, the judge can really see exactly. But if in step 1 and step 2, you provided that clear picture. Believe me, we have a high rate in our office here, Maryland Disability. I work out of one of the Maryland offices, and we have a high rate because we do a lot of education in the community, letting them know exactly what we are waiting for. Yes, more questions here, and then we're gonna have to continue so I can give you, yes, ma'am. Blue Book. Yes. What are the resources available to us? Okay, please visit us online, not only just to see what is the basics in regards to what we consider disability, also the application process, but there is what we call a Blue Book. The Blue Book is basically how we make a medical decision. With the Blue Book, you will be able to take a look into what we are saying that are the signs and symptoms, and that is actually what the Disability Determination Services will go to say what are the signs and symptoms of LHON, and then, you know, compared to what you have. They will go to what they call sequential evaluation. And one of them in that evaluation will say, do this person meet the listings, meaning the signs and symptoms of this condition? And what they are comparing is your conditions to what we call the Blue Book. So it's good to see the Blue Book because then you can ask your doctor, this is what Social Security says in regards to what the medical condition is. I think, yes, we have one more question, and then we might have to continue. Yes, can I help?
Does the monthly income amount go into effect if it's a temporary job?
Okay, does the monthly amount change? Okay, does the monthly amount change? In a temporary job, okay, as you said, okay, we will take a look if you're making that amount, for how long you're making that, but that is monthly. That is monthly. The amount changes year after year because maybe next year the substantial gainful activity will be a little bit more. That's a little bit different. We're gonna talk into it. We are really talking about the beginning of it, the application process. So let's talk a little bit about those work incentives. Okay, so in this scenario, what happened is you have applied, you are approved, you are receiving Social Security benefits. Now, sometimes the big question is, can I work? Can I try to go to work? Because I spent these years in college, I was successful in college, I have a degree now. Can I work? From what I heard, I was really amazed. Yes, it is in your plan, actually, to go to work. We have what we call work incentives. Social Security have always had work incentives. These are actually opportunities for people who receive disability benefits to go to work. We have what we call the Ticket to Work. That was in 1999. And basically, the Ticket to Work was a voluntary program, an invitation for our beneficiaries to try to come back to work. There are several work incentives, okay, and employment supports. And it depends on where, what type of benefit that you receive. Are you receiving benefits under Title II, Social Security Disability Insurance, or you're receiving benefits under Title 16, SSI, Supplemental Security Income? These are some of the lists of the programs, and let's talk a little bit about subsidies and special conditions. What is a subsidy? A subsidy is basically you are working, but the amount of earnings that you have are not really for the amount or the duties that you are performing. Your employer is providing you a salary that if your employer provides to somebody else and performing the duties that you're doing, it will be less. Let me give you an example. I had not too long ago an applicant that was actually a person that became disabled after working for the same company for many, many, many years. So what happened was the employer continued providing this person the same amount of earnings. But because of the disability, the person had to change duties. They had to change hours that they were working. So they were working less, they were doing less at the job place, but because of working for the same company, the employer continued providing the same amount of earnings. So that is a subsidy. And what we will do is, okay, with the new duties that you have, with the new hours that you are working, how much will your salary be? Because certainly it was not the higher salary that the person was receiving. Also, you might have special conditions, okay? Your employer is making accommodations for you, and that can also be included. We have another one that is called unsuccessful work attempt, meaning I want to work, and I try. So I get a job, I start working, but then, things happen at work, and my employer is letting me go. So I found another employer that is willing to work with me, to make accommodations for me. So the person starts working again, but that employer finds out, oh no, I'm sorry, I have to let you go again. So it's basically going to work and then being unable to work because of that medical condition. So you are attempting to really, really stay at an employer, making a salary, but you're really unable. So we will take a look at all of those attempts. And even though, you might be making over what we call substantial gainful activity, but we will definitely take a look and consider, all of those work attempts that you're making. Another one is impairment work-related expense. A lot of times you need a guide dog, you need an attendant to help you with many things. You might need, as far as I was able to hear and I was able to read, you might need some special devices to help you out to go to work. And for the impairment-related work expenses, in some cases, we might even consider medication if a person has to take medication. So all of these that I am talking about, let me give you, there is a book called The Red Book. We have the blue and we have the red book. So all of this is in the blue book, and of course, it's available online. You can always call us at the toll-free number, and we have alternate medium. We can even send that to you in big print if you want. So these are some of the examples, not all included, of what we consider impairment related. Okay, transportation, if you need to get a cab to take you to the place of employment because you are unable to drive, care service animals, and so on and so forth. We have an 821 work activity report. This is very important. And sometimes, when you are in the application process, of course, you give us the disability report, you give us medical data. But then out of the sudden, you might receive from the Disability Determination Services, the state agency, a package. And you said, hey, but I provided this to Social Security. I don't know why this state agency is sending me this information. Well, once again, it's because they are working for us, and they might want to get more information in regards to your activity, work activities. So they might send you this 821 to gather more information about your work activities so they can make the right decision on your case. We also have, under the SSI benefits, supplemental security income, what we call a PASS, PASS, for Plan to Achieve Self-Support. This is actually like a self-funded training or vocational rehabilitation program. Okay, remember that I said that on the SSI is based on income and resources, and people have a limited amount of income and resources that they can have. The limit for resources will be $2,000. But if you are under a PASS, then you can start saving money and for that self-training that you would like to attend, and then it will be excluded. And these are some of the examples of expenses that can be excluded under a PASS. Also know that a PASS has to be approved by Social Security. Basically, you will write down like a plan, and you have to submit to us, and we are going to either approve or ask you for more documentation before it is finally approved. But it is possible, and under each state, you will also have a person on a regional level that will review your PASS, okay? Let me keep going to give you more. I talk a little bit about the ticket to work, as I said, okay? It's free, voluntary. In the old days, people actually receive like a symbolic ticket. But if you receive Social Security benefits, okay, you don't have to. You can actually start the process. And the way to do that is you can either just visit us online or call the Ticket to Work line, 1-866-968-7842. Let me repeat that number, 1-866-968-7842. So it's 866 your ticket. You can call and say, I would like to request more information about the Ticket to Work and the work incentives. And we have grants for local organizations that can help you with networks, because that is the beauty about the Ticket to Work. It provides a net that not only provides information, but in some cases, rehabilitation. We have what we call employment networks. Those are some of the partners. With the employment networks, these are actually employers at a local level that are willing to give people with a disability employment, to help with rehabilitation services, make accommodations. So the best way to connect you with those services will be call the line, the Ticket to Work line, your Ticket to Work. It's, of course, available online as well. Another very important work incentive will be the expedited reinstatement, because when people, sometimes we hear these in the office all the time. People that have a disability and not receiving Social Security benefits, sometimes their fear in regards to trying to come back to work is, what if I lose my benefits? It took me 3 times to appeal before I started receiving my disability benefits. So now that I have my benefits, I don't want to do anything to even dare to lose them. So please know that there is protection. And one of them is the expedited reinstatement. Under the expedited reinstatement, after a certain period of time that you are actually not receiving any more benefits because you were able to come back to work, you can always come to us and say, I request expedited reinstatement. We can even provide you 6 months of payments. And of course, we will review the medical data, make sure that everything is still the same, the condition is the same, the condition has not improved to the point in which you are really being able to come back to work. One that is very, very popular because it will allow you to work, have any amount of earnings, and still receive your benefits is what we call the trial work period. If you receive Social Security disability insurance, you can actually work for 9 months, have any amount of benefits, and those earnings will not impact your benefits at all. And of course, if you are working, like for example, this year, we consider these 9 months don't have to be consecutive, and these 9 months are actually within a 5 years period. So for example, you work for 3 months, make any amount of money in a month, what we will consider a trial work period is if you actually have earnings that are more than $880 a month this year. So you are working, you are coming to us and say, I would like to try the trial work period, but you actually just make $500. That is not a trial work period because the trial work period amount starts at $880. Now, you start making more than $880 a month, then yes, we will consider that a trial work period. And as I said, there is no limit in the amount of money that you can make. For 9 months, they don't have to be consecutive months, but those are 9 months within a 5 years period, meaning you can work for 3 months and then not work anymore, and then 2-3 years later, come back to work another 3 months, and so on and so forth. It's within a 5 months period, 5 years period. Now, what happens if you continuously work for 9 months under the trial work period? Then on the 10th month, we are going to suspend your benefits. No more benefits because you are still working. But know that under the ticket to work, we have what we call extended period of eligibility. You will have basically 3 years after we suspended your benefits. You will have 3 years in which for every month that you do not make or have earnings of more than what we consider substantial gainful activity, you can come to us and say, this month I had to cut my hours back. And I'm not having earnings of more than what you consider substantial gainful activity. We pay you for that month. We pay you for that month. And that is, once again, within the 36 months. And of course, as I said before, after the extended period of eligibility, you still have that expedited reinstatement. You don't have to go through an entire application again. You just need to come and let us know that you're not making more than what we call substantial gainful activity. Another important fact in regards to the work incentives is medical. It's very important to know that under medical, even if your benefits stop, we will still continue your Medicare for 93 months. 93 months, and that is under Title II Social Security Disability Insurance if the person has been receiving Medicaid because of they were receiving supplemental security income. There are also other programs that will allow them to continue with their medical coverage and still be able to work. Okay, so there are plenty incentives. Medicare, once again, is for people that are 65 or people that are have a disability at any age. Reporting, responsibilities, okay. Anybody that receives Social Security benefits has responsibilities with us. Either you receive retirement, disability, and especially supplemental security income because either you're older or you are disabled. Some of the reporting responsibilities is please keep us abreast with our changes of address. We, believe me, don't have any problem with people letting us know about their new bank account for obvious reasons, okay? So, but anybody that receives Social Security might be due a review at a given point. We do reviews for people that receive retirement and Medicare. Why do you think that we will review benefits for them? Well, we have cases in which people are 90 and 100 years old. That population is growing in our country. So we do reviews because, in a sense, we would like to make sure that they are still doing good. Okay. So we want to make sure that they are still doing good. Sometimes, for somebody that is just 103 years old. I just visited one of our beneficiaries that is actually 103 years old. What happened was that she was due for a review. We sent her a letter to her residence address. Guess what? Letters are coming back. She's not there anymore. Telephone is disconnected. So we are wondering, what happened to her? What happened to her was that from home, she fell, was put in rehab, nursing home, and after the fall, the children decided, no, Mom, you cannot stay by yourself. She's in a nursing home, but nobody told us. We continue providing the benefits because it was going to the same bank account until we found her at the nursing home. Okay, in terms of disability, we are going to review your case because in 3 years or 5 years or 7 years, depending on the medical condition, we want to make sure that the condition is still the same, that the condition is still impacting your ability to work. So we're going to do that, and that's the reason why you need to let us know about changes of address. Are you working? Yes, please let us know. The reason of that is because if work impacts the eligibility to you, for you to receive the benefits, then we need to know so we can avoid any overpayments. You can report wages in different ways, but of course, what we would like to do is mostly for you to get information ahead of time about the ticket to work. And once you are working, you can report your wages, by either calling us. You can also have an online account, my Social Security online account. You can send us a letter. You can send us copies of those check stubs. If you work and have a salary that is the same every month, then just let us know what your salary will be. But if your salary kind of fluctuates from month to month, because depending on the hours that you're able to work, just keep us informed. For as long as you keep us informed, then you will be able to avoid any overpayments. Of course, we recommend that you visit us online, create your online account, because that is the easiest and fastest way to report wages. You can do it through your online account. In regards to apps, there is an app also in which you could report your earnings to us. But so there are different ways to contact us. Once again, being online, the best one. I invite you to visit us online, get a little bit more of information in regards to those work incentives through the Red Book. We even have examples there. And at this point, I would like to know if there are any questions. We have a few minutes for questions if you have any.
You know what, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, we've had these folks here since 8 o'clock, so I desperately need to give them a break. But I know
Yes.
you're going to be here for the next half hour, and we're going to be on break until 11. So if I can invite people during the break to answer questions, if that's okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please know that, once again, I have a table with information outside. There are several publications. Those of you who would like to get a copy of the Braille publications, let me know. And if not, I'm also available for questions outside.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you.